Yo, good day, creators. In this video or podcast, depending on where you're consuming this, I'm going to tell you why you should not do a podcast tour. So, in the wild world of digital marketing, we're all on the quest to expand our audience, make a bigger impact in the world, and swim in a delicious pool of money, right? Well, maybe not the swimming part, but like having more money is kind of a big part of the game that we're playing here. And so in the quest, we often stumble into some advice that we hear is more popular than cat videos, which is go on a podcast tour. But hold on to your hats, folks, because we're going to unravel the mystery as to why going on a podcast tour may not necessarily be the most sparkly unicorn strategy that you thought it was going to be. Podcast tours have been the talk of the town, with experts singing their praises as the golden ticket to new audiences. The idea is so simple. Why can't it work? Grace the airwaves of various podcasts, and voila, you get access to pre-made audiences. You can literally show up, answer questions, and presto, people come flocking to you with their money. Sounds like a sweet deal, right? Well, it doesn't quite work that way. One of the big problems with podcast tours is that their impact is short-lived. When you're a guest on a podcast, it's like you're crashing someone else's party for a few minutes. Sure, you get to chat with their cool friends, aka their audience, but once the episode ends, it's back to being the invisible kid in the room. Your moment of fame is as fleeting as a Snapchat story. And I don't use Snapchat for that very reason. Now, here's the kicker. You might find yourself on a podcast with tens of thousands of downloads. Cue the confetti and fanfare. Hooray, your moment of fame has come. But how many of those listeners actually stick around? In many cases, the conversion rate from podcast listeners to loyal subscribers or customer is about as impressive as a deflating balloon. Like literally almost nobody goes from listening to your podcast episode with that host to subscribing to your email list to actually buying stuff from you. Think of the last time you listened to a podcast, joined the email list, and then bought something from them. Chances are it does not happen very often. Instead, they ghost you. They say goodbye, thanks for the memories, and away they are. So let's paint a picture with some real numbers. Imagine you scored a spot on a mega popular podcast with a whopping 120,000 downloads in the first week. This happened to me. Impressive, right? It sounds impressive, but then reality slaps you in the face as you realize that it only brought in around 20 new subscribers to your email list. Also happened to me. In comparison, your signature workshop, which is where you go live and you facilitate a transformational experience with that audience, brings in hundreds or thousands of new email contacts. That's what happened to me. Same audience, 20 email lists or 20 email subscribers on the email list from the podcast with 120,000 downloads. Signature workshop, same audience, hundreds and hundreds of emails. Big difference. So one of the other podcast pitfalls is the whole passive listener thing. You know, usually when you're listening to a podcast, you're doing dishes, you're driving, you're doing something that you're distracted. You're hands-free, you're kind of drifting between the episode and your own thoughts and the thing that you're actually doing. And so people aren't really remembering the whole thing. They're not retaining it. They're not being transformed by it. They might have a moment of insight or inspiration, but it's not changing their life forever. A signature workshop is different in that way. It is like the wizard of marketing strategy. It's meant to be live, interacting. It leaves a lasting impression. People's lives are meant to be changed from it. So unlike podcasts, which are like the one-night stands of content consumption, a signature workshop is meant to be transformative. It's meant to be immersive and immersive learning experience for people. It's the kind of thing that your audience will remember long after it's over. And one of the coolest things about signature workshops is their scalability. With the right tech and a sprinkle of magic dust, aka systems in place, you can take your workshop on a virtual road trip and reach new audiences all over the internet. This is what I'm doing this year, and it's grown my email list by over 3,000 people in just 11 signature workshops delivered. It's like going on tour with your rock band, but without the screaming fans and smash guitars, unless that's your thing. And let's not forget about first impressions. A signature workshop is your chance to make an unforgettable experience for people. It's like the grand entrance at a fancy party. You want everyone to remember you as the life of the shindig. The first encounter can be so mind-blowing that your participants will be lining up for more, like me at a chocolate store. I like chocolate. Signature workshops aren't just a one-time wonder. They're a community builder. During a live workshop experience, participants can mingle, chat, connect with each other, connect with you, and you're like the host of this virtual block party. And everyone kind of feels like your neighbor. These connections can lead to loyal supporters and lifelong fans, and who doesn't really want a fan club? So let's now move into dollars and cents. Signature workshops aren't just about spreading the love. They're monetization machines. So while you might offer your signature workshop for free as a taste test of what it is that you do with people and the transformation that's possible for them, at the end of the workshop, you can unleash your inner mountain guide and invite participants to take the next steps on the adventure with you by signing up for your program, product, subscription, or service. It's like giving them a sample at an ice cream shop and then watching them order the whole sundae. Sundays. In conclusion, podcasts are fun. I really enjoy podcasts. It's great to just sit down and have somebody ask me a bunch of questions so I can tell some stories. But they're not necessarily the most effective way to grow your audience impact and income. Instead of putting all your marketing eggs in the podcast basket, I would just suggest consider the supercharged potential of a live signature workshop tour. And it's not that podcasts are bad, they're just not the whole picture. And here's the way that you can incorporate podcasting into your marketing strategy. Reach out to hosts. Ask them if you can do a signature workshop for their audience. When they say yes, ask them if you can come on their podcast ahead of time as a way to introduce their audience to you and to promote the signature workshop experience. Oftentimes, they'll be stoked to say yes to both. This is what's happening for me. So by taking your signature workshop on the road, you're going to reach new audiences with ease. You're going to establish yourself as a go-to, trustworthy human who delivers mind-blowing value, and you're going to build real community. And in the process of doing those wonderful, fulfilling things that we like to do as creators and entrepreneurs and teachers, is you're going to increase your income. So before you hop on the next podcast tour bus or fall victim to the post and hope strategy on social media, ask yourself this. Feel into your body, because I'm not here to convince you. I know this works for myself. I know it works for others. Could a signature workshop be the ticket for your marketing success story? Something that you actually enjoy showing up to, something that is easy for you to step into, easy for you to find people to host you. And if you're tired of the lackluster results from the traditional marketing tactics, I encourage you to try this signature workshop. I have a training coming up starting on September 14th. It's Craft and Tour Your Signature Workshop. It's only $500, and this will literally transform your marketing world. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been eye-opening for you to see that podcast tours aren't all they're cracked up to be. They are fun, but they don't lead to the results you're actually looking for. A signature workshop tour will lead to the results that you're looking for. Come give it a try. Check it out, majikmedia.com, MAJIK media.com/signature-workshop. I hope to see you in the session starting on September 14th. And inside that community space, we have a lot of very cool people sign up, and I hope you're one of them. Take care and stay awesome.